Welcome to our channel Beast Whisperer, where you will find that how animals behave with human beings. It was a quiet afternoon in a small village that rested near the edge of a great forest. The sun was high, and the ground was dry and dusty. Children were playing near the fields, their laughter echoing softly, while women carried water pots back from the well. The men worked in their farms, guiding oxen slowly through the soil. The village lived close to nature, and the people were used to seeing animals pass by. Sometimes deer grazed near the edges, sometimes monkeys stole fruit from the trees, and once in a while, elephants could be seen in the distance moving together like a great family across the forest paths. The people respected these animals, they gave them space, and they believed the forest had its own life that deserved care. But what happened on this day was something no one could have ever imagined. From the shadow of the trees, a small figure slowly appeared. At first, people thought it was a calf of a cow that had strayed too far, but as it came closer, they could see the truth. It was an elephant calf, very young, barely taller than a man, and its steps were heavy and painful. The little one's body trembled with weakness. One of its legs was badly wounded, covered in dirt and blood that had dried in thick patches. With every step, the calf winced, and its trunk moved slowly, almost as if asking for help. It was lost, hurt and afraid. The villagers froze where they stood. Children clung to their mothers, and some men whispered among themselves. Elephants were powerful creatures, and though this was only a calf, it was still wild. But when they looked closely into the animal's eyes, they saw no anger, no wild rage, no threat. Instead, they saw pain, sadness, and something that touched their hearts. They saw trust. The calf had walked into the village not to cause harm, but because it was seeking something it could not find in the forest. It was seeking kindness. The little elephant staggered forward until it reached the well in the center of the village. Its trunk stretched weakly toward the water, and then it collapsed on the ground, unable to take another step. Dust rose around its small body as it lay there, breathing heavily. The sight broke the silence of the villagers. A farmer, who was known for his gentle heart, quickly stepped forward. He took a pot of fresh water, poured it into a large clay bowl, and placed it near the calf. The young elephant stretched its trunk slowly, touched the bowl, and drank deeply. The water splashed as it drank, drops rolling down its face. The villagers watched in silence, their eyes softening. This was no ordinary moment. This was a plea for life, answered with compassion. But the calf's wound was serious. The men and women gathered close, speaking softly, their voices filled with concern. Some were worried the herd might return and attack the village if they touched the calf. Others said the animal might not survive the night. But the farmer, the same man who had given water, spoke clearly. He said, "This calf has chosen us, it trusts us. If we turn away now, we will never forgive ourselves. We must help." His words reached every heart. Slowly, carefully, the villagers agreed. The women brought cloth torn from old saris, and they boiled herbs they used for healing fevers and cuts. The men held the calf gently, whispering calming words as they tried to clean the wound. The calf flinched in pain, letting out a low cry that echoed through the village, but it did not fight back. Its eyes stayed fixed on the humans, as if it knew they meant no harm. With careful hands they cleaned the dirt from the wound, washed it with warm water, and placed the herbs gently. Then they tied cloth around the leg to stop the bleeding. For the first time since it entered the village, the calf closed its eyes and let out a deep sigh. It was the sound of trust. Word spread quickly, and by evening the forest officers arrived. They were shocked to see the villagers caring for the elephant. The officers explained that the calf must have stepped on a trap set by hunters. Such traps were cruel, iron jaws hidden under leaves waiting for innocent creatures. Somehow this calf had freed itself, though badly hurt, and had walked miles guided only by its instinct. It had walked straight to the village, because somewhere deep inside it believed humans could save it. The officers praised the villagers for their courage and kindness, telling them not every community would welcome such a guest. That night, the calf lay near the well, covered with a blanket. The children sat nearby, whispering softly, singing old songs, as if trying to comfort it. The elders told the younger ones stories of elephants, about their wisdom, memory, and loyalty. The village became a circle of love around the little animal. The people had given food, water, medicine, and safety. In return, the calf gave them a gift greater than any treasure. It gave them the chance to see how powerful trust can be when shown between humans and animals. By morning, the calf was stronger. Its eyes were brighter, and it even reached out its trunk playfully to touch the farmer's hand. But just as the villagers prepared to send it with the officers to a rescue center, something extraordinary happened. From the forest, a deep rumble filled the air. The ground trembled. Out of the trees came a herd of elephants, their massive forms moving slowly but powerfully. At their front was a large female, most likely the calf's mother. The villagers grew silent, their hearts racing. Would the herd attack? Would they be angry? The elephant stopped at the edge of the village. The calf lifted its head, its ears flapping weakly. With a burst of energy, it tried to stand. The villagers and officers helped it up, steadying its injured leg. Slowly, step by step, the calf limped toward the herd. The air was filled with tension. But as the calf approached, something beautiful unfolded. The mother elephant extended her trunk and touched her calf gently, running it over its back, its head, its wounded leg. The other elephants surrounded them, not with anger but with care. It was a reunion full of love. The calf pressed its body against its mother, and the herd let out deep rumbles, low and comforting. The villagers stood still, watching with tears in their eyes. Then, for a brief moment, the mother elephant turned. She looked at the villagers, her gaze steady and deep. It was as if she understood what they had done. It was as if she was saying thank you. No words were spoken, but the meaning was clear. Gratitude does not always need language. The herd began to move back toward the forest, slow and graceful, with the calf safe at their side. The villagers watched until the last shadow disappeared among the trees. The village returned to its usual rhythm in the days that followed, but something inside every person had changed. They carried in their hearts a story that would be told again and again, the story of a wounded calf who came seeking help, and of how one act of kindness had saved not just a life, but also a bond between two worlds. Even now, when the villagers walk past the well, they remember that day. They remember the sound of water splashing as the calf drank, the way its trunk touched their hands, and the look in the mother elephant's eyes before she left. Some say the elephants still appear near the forest's edge, not too close, but close enough to be seen, as if reminding the humans that they had not forgotten, as if keeping the bond alive. It was never just about healing a wound. It was about trust, compassion, and the power of kindness. A single act of care had changed everything. It had brought a lost calf back to its family, united a village, and reminded everyone that true strength lies not in force, but in love. And all of it began because a wounded elephant calf believed that humans could be kind. And so, the wounded calf found its way back to its family, all because a village chose kindness over fear. It is a story that reminds us that even the smallest act of compassion can change the course of life. If this story touched your heart, make sure to stay with us for more. Subscribe to Beast Whisperer, where every story brings you closer to the hidden world of animals and their unspoken bonds with us.